What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. I'm Irish Ronin, and I'm back with another Game Jam Top 10. This time, it was for the Level Up Game Jam, which was a bit unusual because it was hosted in Spain, and so aside from a lot of things being in Spanish, there's actually a noticeable feel difference with the game structures and stuff, which I wasn't expecting, but I guess Spanish people have a slightly different sensibility than I'm used to, so that was cool. Quick disclaimer about me and Spanish. I do speak some Spanish, but my wife is Argentinian, which means I speak Spanish like she speaks Spanish. So if you hear some weird pronunciations, you know who to blame. So, what am I looking for in a Game Jam game? Number 1, fun. If it ain't fun, why bother? 2, creativity. Let's see some cool new stuff. 3, easy to learn, hard to master. I'm not Ben Wyatt. I don't see punishingly intricate as a positive review. Number 4 is polish. Time is tight in a game jam. Putting out a polished game deserves props. And we have a bonus criteria for this game jam, which is not too preachy. See, the theme of this game jam was nature and sustainability, and some devs had a really difficult time resisting that urge to add like a full manifesto via text boxes. And with any art form, I don't super care which side of what argument anybody's on, but what I'm looking for is art with a little bit of message, not a message with just a touch of art thrown in. Speaking of neither art nor message, this is my entry to the game, or to the jam, which is about sustaining these balls in the air. Yeah, it's pretty basic, but fun, so there you go. Alright, enough messing around, let's get into it. Alright, coming in at number 10, we have Casa Obake en el Bosque Corrompido, which I'm pretty sure is the name of the character in A Corrupted Forest, by NarcisoElEgocentrico, egocentric narcissist. This one is here pretty much just for one reason, which is it made me feel weird on the inside. Like, it's got this creepy, sort of grungy watercolor aesthetic that I really like. You know, those barrels are probably the brightest thing in the game. You know, it feels like almost like a salad spoons type of thing where it's just like, let's be a little bit weird, right? And so there's these cool text message boxes that pop up. They do have some preachiness going on, but really it's a story, right? And it's just them trying to get through their day, this weird little umbrella character. And it was fun, you know? I mean, it's not the cleanest looking game, it's not the most exciting game, but I enjoyed it because they created a good atmosphere, and, you know, it seems like they hit the mark they were aiming for, and that counts for a lot for me. Next up at number 9, we have a game called MiniBalance by Crispilandia, and what I like about this game is it's a good representation of one of the kind of common themes of the jam. We saw a lot of games that were about, you know, sort of placing and managing resources, right? So typically to maintain some sort of balance, hitting hard obviously on the sustainability aspect. So in this particular one, you have these little minifigures off to the right there, and you're trying to place them. One's a fisherman, one's a farmer, one's a hunter, then you unlock lumberjacks and, you know, all these kind of different features, and you have to keep an eye on your various resources, make sure that everybody has enough food, but you also don't kill the forest, etc., etc. So pretty simple, you know, drag and drop kind of game. Then you hit go, and everything kind of fast forwards in time, and you see the consequences of your actions. So nice little game to teach about there are consequences to actions in the long term. You're balancing human needs versus nature's needs. All told, just very good little game. I like the graphics a lot. Super low res pixel art. Looks great, sounds great. Give it a go. At number 8, we have Offcentro by Louxie and Erik2112. This game I really like a lot. It's also kind of a balance game. Not kind of, I mean, it definitely is. As you add houses to one side, it starts to tip and the water drains over to that side, so you gotta add some trees to the other hemisphere, and that allows you to maintain the balance, right? And so again, this is balancing nature versus humanity, but in a much more symbolic way, which I like a lot. Plus, the gameplay is just an interesting sort of mechanic that I haven't really seen before myself, anyway. I did find a little bit of an exploit where you can just add tons and tons of stuff and keep it rotating all the time, which allows you to really not worry about it. The only reason this game isn't higher on the list is there's a very subtle glitch when you add too many things. See if you can spot it. Uh, but you know what? It's a game jam. Glitches happen. And so, I'm sure that's a relatively easy fix and the dev will take care of it if they want to. But until you get to that point, it's fun. And it's fun to see just how you can balance it. So I recommend you give it a try. Lucky number 7 is Midnight Trash Hauler by Estanis Estanis and the rest of the team. There were lots of names, I only put one. What's great about this game is it's kind of insane. It's got that sort of Grand Theft Auto feel, circa like Grand Theft Auto 2, where you are driving around top down and smashing into stuff. We're destroying property, we're doing all kinds of things. You've got a giant robot arm that you're meant to be sorting trash, recyclables, all that kind of stuff into the back of the truck. The only reason, again, this game isn't a little bit higher, there's some tuning that could go on, but more importantly, I feel like I want some pedestrians that I can grab with that hook. You know what I mean? Let me unleash some mayhem in this city while I'm hauling trash. But aside from that, it's fun gameplay, lots of good attention to detail from the lighting to the skid marks, good particle explosions when you're crashing into things. Sounds great, looks good. It's a fun one to play, so I recommend you give it a go. Give it a go, is what I meant to say there. All right, we're going to take things down a bit with number 6 here, Cliff of the Foxes by Canasto. This is just a very low-key, chilled-out kind of platformer. You're a little fox seeking their offspring. Lots of great attention to detail, like the reflection in the water, the little lines moving back and forth in the water to give it some good texture. We got a nice parallax fading into the background, right? The dev clearly took a lot of time to make sure that this had a nice sense of atmosphere. So you're collecting apples rather than coins. Plus, the nice thing that sets this particular game apart is that burrowing mechanic you just saw. So where you see those little cracks, the fox can jump in there and start traversing the level in interesting ways. This is a mechanic I haven't really seen before, and so I think it opens up a lot of interesting doors level design-wise. It's a pretty short game, so you didn't get to see too much of it, but I do think it's a good idea, and like I say, it opens some interesting doors. The music is nice. It's a cute story about right down into the water there. Cute story about a parent trying to find their child, and it's good. Clearly, they put some love and care into this, and I hope they keep making games. Number 5 is a well-designed game called A Better Tomorrow by GoragarX. Now, I mentioned before there were lots of games about kind of balancing resources and humanity, balancing against nature, that kind of thing. For my money, this is the cream of the crop from the jam that kind of falls into that category. It's easy to figure out what you're supposed to do. You're placing various installations, whether it's solar panels or wind farms or hydroelectric plants, nuclear power plants, et cetera, right? You're chopping down trees, you're building houses, but it's all very intuitive, right? You click to place, you click to collect, you click to manage the resources, right? It's all very, very understandable and clear cut. Speaking of clear cut, I like the nice, clean graphics that are going on here. I like the hexagonal tile based system. It's a well put together game. It's kind of in the vein of an idle clicker because you have to collect resources, otherwise they kind of just stop producing resources. You need to make sure and distribute those resources, otherwise you lose. But to call it an idle clicker is probably incorrect. You are very involved and clicking a lot of the time. So give this one a go if you like that sort of game where you are trying to manage the balance. Just off the podium at number 4 is Belugame by Jorge Llorca. So this one is here for a few reasons, not least of which is the humor. You are a little guy swimming around there with your snorkel, and you are trying to prevent this beluga whale from eating garbage. See right there, he's about to eat that can? No, you're not. I got it. Wonderful. Unfortunately, your player character cannot breathe underwater, so where to get some air? Well, from that whale's farts. Which, hey, part of me is still 11 years old, and I think that's pretty funny. It's a well-designed game. The speeds of everything coming in and falling, it's all pretty well tuned. You are swimming around not collecting fish because that's the beluga's food, but yes, collecting trash because you don't want the beluga to get hurt. When he does get hurt, there's a nice little offset of the graphics with some red going on, a little bit of screen shake. Gives it some nice juice. I like the fuzzy background and the otherwise very crisp, clean vector graphics. You know, it's a well-made game. It's funny. It's fun. Great fart noises. Give it a go. And the bronze medal goes to Reciclicker by Dumbit-e Studios. I assume it's Dumbite. Hard to know. But in this game, all you're doing, there's 3 conveyor belts. One handles glass bottles, the other plastic bottles, and the third cardboard boxes. As they come in, you are sorting the garbage. This was another theme that we saw a lot in the game jam, where we're sorting recyclables. This is by far, in my opinion, the one that was the most fun, right? It's very straightforward what you're trying to do. Starts out nice and slow so you can get the feel for it, and then picks up speed, and inevitably to the point where you cannot keep up. What's really cool about it is it encourages certain efficiency of movement, right? So anytime you're on a conveyor belt, you want to be trying to bring something back to another conveyor belt, because if you're not doing that, you're going to lose much, much faster. The hitboxes are well sized, so it's pretty clear, but not immediately, you know, you have to place it just right in order to sort it. So it's pretty easy, but you can still miss, and it's very, very frustrating when you do. I like the pixel art. My only knock on this game is that the music doesn't speed up as the trash comes in faster and faster, and I kind of wish it would, because I'm feeling frantic. Meanwhile, I have this nice chill music in the background, and it's just a little bit of a disconnect there. But very good game, well made, fun to play. Number 2, the silver medal goes to Be a Bee by On Avis. Now, the first thing that jumps out at you about this game is visually it's dynamic. There's not a ton of crazy particle effects going on or, you know, in-your-face graphics, whatever, but the shading, the shadows on the, you know, what appears to be kind of cell shading animation, you know, it pops out into your face, right? And so we've all seen these kind of spindle games where you're rotating around a central axis, but I think this one is particularly well done. It's not just a tree sitting kind of off in the distance that you're rotating, nor is it so in your face that you can't see what's going on. There's a really good balance here between trying to find the flowers you're looking for and being able to navigate to them. Speaking of navigation, the movement mechanics on the bee are very nice. They feel very smooth, very controlled. There's no question when you hit something that you are going to hit it. But again, there's just this nice attention to detail on the visuals, right? The pollen is dripping off of his belly while you're searching for the companion flower to put that pollen onto. Shadows are great, some leaves falling around through. It's just very good. It's a clean, polished, full game that I really enjoyed playing, and I think you will too. And the big winner, gold medal, A+, number 1, is Enrique by Vega. This game is a perfect game jam game. There is one mechanic, which is hold down the left click to extend that cursor to where you're going to spear this can. There's some good story elements involved where Enrique is basically just pissed off that all these cans are in the ocean and he's trying to get it out. From the preachy perspective, it's not preachy at all. It's just saying, hey, this guy likes to clean up the ocean. Clean up the ocean with this guy. Awesome. There are great can noises for when you miss, for when you spear it. You know, there's no question about whether or not you hit it. The algorithm controlling the waves and therefore the movement of the cans is really good. More than once I just got burned because it got to that last little break right there and the can is shot forward at the last second and makes you miss, and then that can is gone forever now. I mean, I guess actually it's just sitting on the beach. He could probably go get it. But you understand what I'm saying. It's just well balanced. It's fun to play. This is definitely the game from the jam that I played the most. Not because I wanted to dive deeper and, you know, analyze every little aspect of it. It was just fun to play. I enjoyed playing it. I got distracted and it actually threw me off my schedule a little bit. Can't recommend this one enough. Go give it a go. It's simple. It's fun. It's great. And there you have it. That's my top 10 picks for the Level Up Game Jam 2023. There were other good games from the jam, and if yours didn't make the list, don't worry about it. This is just one man's opinion. Links to the game are in the descriptions. If you like this video, I would implore you to hit the like button. If not, consider hitting the like button ironically. I think that would be pretty funny. But if you really like the video and you want to see some more, hit the subscribe button. And if you have any ideas on other indie game content you'd like to see, leave it in the comments and I'll see what I can do. One idea that I had was to take like a deep dive spotlight into the best game I played on itch that week. Let me know. Anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Irish Ronin reminding you of the most important game loop in life. Do, fail, learn, repeat. Adios.